melting dreams in the sky. Catch that fire, let your spirit fly high. Evening whispers, listen and believe. Chase those visions while the stars weave. Evening elevation, rise and celebrate. Dreams come alive when you open the gate. Feel the rhythm pushing through your soul. Chase the horizon and you find your goal. Moonlight's a canvas, paint your skies bright. Stars are the guides in the cool, calm night. Doubt may linger, but hope's aflame. Let the evening elevate your game. Evening elevation, rise and celebrate. Dreams come alive when you open the gate. Feel the rhythm pushing through your soul. Chase the horizon and you find your goal. Moonlight's a canvas, paint your skies bright. Stars are the guides in the cool, calm night. Doubt may linger, but hope's aflame. Let the evening elevate your game. Evening elevation, rise and celebrate. Dreams come alive when you open the gate. Feel the rhythm pushing through your soul. Chase the horizon and you'll find your goal. Reggae beats in your chest, echoes of hope. Lift your sights higher like a pirate with scope. Tune into greatness, feel the vibrations. Evening's a ladder of aspirations. Evening elevation, rise and celebrate. Dreams come alive when you open the gate. Feel the rhythm pushing through your soul. Chase the horizon and you'll find your goal. Reggae beats in your chest, echoes of hope. Lift your sights high like a pirate with scope. Tune into greatness, feel the vibrations. Evening's a ladder of aspirations. These melting dreams in the sky. Catch that fire, let your spirit fly high. Evening whispers, listen and believe. Chase those visions while the stars weave. Evening elevation, rise and celebrate. Dreams come alive when you open the gate. Feel the rhythm pushing through your soul. Chase the horizon and you find your goal. Moonlight's a canvas, paint your skies bright. Stars are the guides in the cool, calm night. Doubt may linger, but hope's aflame. Let the evening elevate your game. Evening elevation, rise and celebrate. Dreams come alive when you open the gate. Feel the rhythm pushing through your soul. Chase the horizon and you find your goal. Moonlight's a canvas, paint your skies bright. Stars are the guides in the cool, calm night. Doubt may linger, but hope's aflame. Let the evening...
Welcome to Evening Elevation, where we ignite your potential and inspire action. Each episode is a journey towards self-discovery, encouraging you to chase your dreams relentlessly. Join us as we share stories, strategies, and insights that empower you to transform your life. Elevate your evenings, elevate your life. Let's get started.
Right. And we are live. Pleasant good evening to each and every one. Welcome to Evening Elevation, Season 1. And I think this is episode 3, if I'm not mistaken. I'm your host, Janice Christopher, aka Biggers. And we're here with Evening Elevations. And we're going to have a fun time tonight. You know, as usual, we are spontaneous, so we're just doing this thing spontaneous, right? We have our co-host. Let me bring him in now so that you can see. We know who our co-host is. None other than Mr. Gillard. Version Gillard. Doc, how are you, sir?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Evening Elevations.
Yes, sir. It's been a long one. Trust me. It's been a long one. And we must apologize to the people, to the fans. You know, we promise you that we was gonna try to do the show every week and stuff out of our hands, beyond our control. So we must apologize for that. But we promise you that we're gonna work on it and we're gonna do better. We promise you that. We're gonna do better and we're gonna try and bring
That's
it to
right.
you um at least once a week. And you may ask those of you who just might be joining, um, you may ask, what is evening elevation? What is evening elevation all about? And basically, evening elevation is just a podcast like platform that just encourages you to get to the next day and encourages you to live a better
That's
life
right.
or live a life that God has for you, right? We're gonna be discussing a lot of different things, technology, a lot of different things we would be discussing. And that's, and like I said in the first the opening podcast, the opening episode, most of it gonna come from a spiritual background because we are both Christians, and that's but what we know, that's what we grow up in. So most of our encouragement and most of what we believe in, most of our advice would be coming from a spiritual background and spiritual standpoint,
Yep.
right? So that's what we know. That's what we're gonna give you. We try to keep it as real as possible. Not a lot of fluff. At evening elevations here, you get the real deal. So
Real deal.
um we're gonna be tackling topics that your volume could come up a bit more. We will be discussing some topics. We're gonna be hitting topics. Might not be people's favorite or whatever it is, but whatever it is, we're gonna just do it. You understand? This is a
Yep.
mandate that we got, and we just gonna run with it. A call back up, tell him this is what I want to do, and he jump on board, right? So that's where we at. And like I said, we're gonna right now we are broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So if you look for Genevieve Christopher on Facebook, that's where you're gonna see the Facebook. But we encourage most people to come over to YouTube because sometime in the future we're gonna switch to just one platform, channel all the traffic to that platform, which is gonna be Evening Elevations on YouTube. So you can go to Evening Elevations on YouTube and do the social media things, the subscribe, the like, the comment, which encourages the platform to share out the videos and stuff. So yeah, um, yeah, we know what to do. That anything you got to say? It's been a while, so you ain't gonna go quiet on me tonight, So let's go. You're not gonna go quiet on me tonight.
Yeah, well, it's been a while, but I'm happy to be back. So that we can be some sort of encouragement to somebody out there. Don't know. And if you're under the hearing of our voice, wherever you are, just know that um things won't always be like it is. I'm always reassured that one day things gonna get better, but we have to understand that before things get better, it always takes a turn for the worse before it gets better. So hang in there and just stay focused and just continue to allow God to bring you out of your storm, whatever it is that you may be going through tonight. All right.
Right. So if I'm listening, you're good. You're encouraging people to um, you know, to don't give up. Stick with it, basically. That's the encouragement.
Yep.
Um, and you also said that sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. And the darkest part of the night, you know, it's just the darkest part of the night. It can't get darker than that. The only thing after that is that it could get a little brighter.
A
All
bit
right.
brighter. That's right.
So yep. So don't forget, you could send your comment. You could like, share. You could send your comment. If you want to send greetings to anybody, you could send them in the chat as well. We would see them, and then we'll try to get them on the screen. All right. So don't forget. Let me just send a welcome in the chat just to make sure that it's working. Let me send a good night and welcome. Let's see. Let's make sure that's up. Okay. Let's make sure. We haven't done this in a while, so we just got to make sure that everything is working. Okay. Okay. Yep. There it goes. Good night. Welcome. Okay. Awesome. So the chat is activated. So you can send your messages in the chat. You can send your greetings in the chat. We just gotta hang out for about an hour, and see where we lead. Tonight we have our first guest to the show. So we're in season 1, episode 3, and we have our first guest. And this guest is very interesting. I guess I should let him introduce himself before I say anything. So let me get him. Let's see if we can get him on the screen. Okay,
Am I on,
let's.
guys?
All right, he's
All
up. He's
right.
up. All right. So our
Yes,
first
man, I'm
guest
here.
to Evening
Welcome, Keely.
Elevation
Welcome. Welcome.
is Akil Christopher,
Yes,
who
brother Nelson, how are you? How are
is
you?
my, of course is my brother, and the reason why he is here is that um I saw him start something, and I wanted to talk to him about it. I wanted him to share with the public about what he's doing, right? And it's it's an encouragement to me because we go up together most of the years, and I try to be an example, a godly example in the household and stuff like that. Um, my father wasn't a Christian, so I can't even tell you if he's a Christian today. Lord, bless his soul, but I can't speak on that. So, but I realized that my brother took a turn for better. I realized he started taking the spiritual life a little more serious, and then he decided that he wanted to get baptized, and he did that on his own, and that was encouraging for me. I was like, wow, that's awesome, because he had to see that somewhere, and I'm hoping that he saw that in me and decided that, hey, that is something that he wanted. All right. So he started something called um, Elevation
The motivation corner.
Motivation
The
Corner.
motivation corner.
Motivation
Yeah.
Corner. And it's on his WhatsApp status. So every morning he sends out this encouragement with the motivation corner. So Keely, talk to us about the motivation corner, what it's about, where you got the inspiration from, and all of that. Tell us, let's chat a little bit. And Doc, feel free anytime to come in and say what you have to say, that kind of thing. So let's get something working. So Keely, the
Yeah, all
floor
right,
is
no problem,
yours.
guys. So once again, good evening to everyone that's on here. So my name is Akil Christopher. I am the brother of Jenny Christopher, your host. So I started something called the Motivation Corner. So where this stems from, I'm gonna take you back to the beginning. So basically, I'm a young entrepreneur. I'm self-employed. My brother can tell you from a very young age, I was always inspired to work for myself. I saw my mom work very hard, 2 jobs just to make sure that we had ends meet. Plus, because I can't say just the ends meet, you know, because our dad wasn't there, as my brother said. So she never wanted us to feel that, well, he's not there. So because he's not there, we're not getting such and such. So she always put her best effort out there. And me seeing that she was working for people, I always spoke to her growing up about trying to get her own business and stuff like that. But she worked for others. She managed a lot of businesses, and her thing was that she had a hands-on experience and she saw all the risk involved and all the costs involved and stuff like that. So she really wasn't for that at the time. So basically, I was motivated motivated just from watching her working for people. I always said that I wanna, have my own businesses and stuff like that. So I always were inspired to do my own thing. So in high school, I started selling conkers and stuff like that. I went to college, that's TechVac. I mean ASGS, sorry. That's the agriculture science division. And I basically took it a step further. I sold chocolate, chewing gum, Nature Valley, anything you can think of, it's in that bag. If you come by the bag today and you ask me if I have, let's say, white chocolate, I don't have it today, but bet your life tomorrow I'm gonna have it because I'm gonna go at the end of the day when I sell, and I'm gonna take that money and invest it.
A real businessman boy.
Yeah.
Yes,
He was always a hustler. He was always a hustler.
yes. My brother can tell you that I was always a hustler, always motivated. So basically, me being that person, very ambitious, innovative, you have to get motivated by some means. You know what I mean? And for me, um, I used to watch a lot of interviews of business people, successful people. Um, I then got a few books from pastors that were into business, or businessmen, told me stuff that they read, videos they looked at and stuff like that. So that was one of the things that really pushed me and kept me motivated. And then as technology grew, we basically had what you call memes, which is things that people post, any words of encouragement. They may have a picture and say something about it. If somebody have an interview, they may just take a piece of what the interview said and they post that as a meme. So basically what I started doing, I started, looking at memes with a video or photo, and I basically took that as motivation. Then I basically started, once WhatsApp got to the whole status and stuff like that, because I used to do it on Facebook before. I'll take these memes and post it, or I'll take, like songs from, lyrics from songs, and I post it. Anything that basically can motivate me, anything that gave a energy, gave a little spark. You know what I mean? Because my mom always said that when you work for yourself, you're gonna have to work 10 times harder.
Mm.
So imagine you, Doc, you're working for people, right? And you see how much strength it takes for you to get up every
Yep.
morning to go work for these people. So just imagine when you're working for yourself. There's no surety. You know what I'm saying? There's no set anything. You just going. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I basically, just took motivation from anywhere, from stand-up comedy, song lyrics, anything I can find, and I started posting them on my Facebook. And through Facebook, I have the memories. Me myself, I laugh from time to time when I see like the stuff that I posted, 10, 12, 13 years ago.
Mhm.
You know, yeah, it's really interesting, to see that at such young age I was so motivated by anything.
Mhm.
And so,
I don't want to cut you off, but we have somebody. The message is on the screen saying good night to Molly Media. Molly Media boy. He said
all right, Molly,
boy Akila want a chance. So Molly, yeah, you know which number to call Molly, or you know what number to message Molly, right? So see, he on the program and he hustling. He on the program and he hustling. Anyway, Keely, you can continue.
yeah. So back to the story. So basically, I took these memes or lyrics or anything of that sort, and I posted them on my Facebook, and that's how I basically got to in doing different ventures. I've done brokerage. I've done vehicle importation. I've ordered stuff for people. Anything you can think of, any household items, all these stuff. I've basically done that. Um, Drove passenger bus. Did a car wash. I play music. So I did the whole music works, play hotel band, the whole works. I did DJing as well. It's just a whole heap of stuff that I did. Just, trying to make ends meet because, I was so focused on working for myself that if I see I'm in something and, after a time it may die down, I venture into something else. That was me. Just always moving. Anybody that know me can tell you, my friends from school, college, my coworkers, I end up venturing into bartending, cashier, it's just one thing to the next.
So
So,
basically, being self-employed, knowing where your next paycheck is gonna come from, then that made you um hustle a little more, try different things. Like you said just now, when you see something look like it's gonna die out, it's dropping, then you try
yeah.
something else. So would you say that um help you or motivate you to, be in all of these different things that you're trying, being self-employed?
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. But,
But
as the old people would say, if at first you don't succeed, try again. So, everything is not a bed of roses. So people may have ideas and they may want to shoot for it, as I would say. And,
mhm.
it may not be feasible at first, but that's basically how things go. Because my mother always told me the story about Rams. Rams started in the back of a car.
No. Oh, I
You know
was
what I'm
about to
saying?
tell you, be careful when you talk about Rams there, because we have somebody on here working for Rams there. So be careful. Be
yeah,
careful.
yeah, yeah. So you have a
Bishop Boland,
vision.
Bishop
Have
Boland,
ideas.
good night. Good night, sir. I see he's
Yes.
Minister
Good
Jenny
evening.
come like him, Park
Good
Hyatt's
evening.
room. Yes, that's the blessings of the Lord. Yes, Park Hyatt's. Anyway, continue, Keely.
Yeah, man. So so looking at different things like that. Rams started basically in the back of a van, selling, and then they just, take chances here and there, and you escalate.
Right, right,
There's people that started barber shops, just started on their landing. What I mean?
right.
Just started cutting here in the village,
Yeah, everything
and you
always
end up
start here.
getting in
Mhm.
straight. Yeah. So I just want to let the people know that, you have to start somewhere.
Right. So
You
basically,
have to start somewhere.
your encouragement is don't be afraid to start. It doesn't matter where you
Yeah, don't be
start,
afraid to start.
just start.
Don't be afraid to start. One of the hardest things to do is start. Once you start, it gets easier. The
Okay.
hardest thing. No, I'm not telling you that it's gonna be an easy road.
Easy
Don't
road,
get me
right?
wrong. But the hardest part is to start,
Mm.
because that's where all your thoughts and maybe you have the opinion of others, all of that can basically get you down, keep you down.
Mhm.
Sometimes the people know that just start,
Just
What
go
start.
for
has
it. If you
been
believe something, yeah, go ahead,
what
Pots.
has been one of your greatest challenges, you know, in trying to succeed in trying to get to where you want to be? What has been your greatest challenge?
My greatest challenge. Okay, so for instance, my brother can tell you, I'm a go-getter. We run with it. You understand? Despite better thinking, as people would say, it might not seem feasible, it might not make sense to someone
Mhm.
else, and they'll let me know like, boy, I don't think that's the way to go, that kind of way. But I'm the kind of person that I I'm very calculated. I'm a calculated person. So although it may be a new business I'm starting, I kind of have projections and so in my head.
Right.
And in my mind, by the numbers don't lie. So even though someone may not see the vision that I have, I might not see it feasible. In my mind, numbers don't lie. You know what I
Mm.
mean? But definitely, yeah, that's one of the hardest things that I face. Not having the support when I want to do something. Because even my lady, she'll tell you, I'm crazy. You know what I mean? She said, you're crazy. And when I go, and I tell her, cause I tell her, well, I got this vision, got this idea, and my brother can also tell you, I take long showers, very long showers. That's my sanctum, as I would say. I get my ideas. I go in the shower maybe a good hour and a half, and I punch in the numbers, punch in the possibilities, different projections, and that's
Mhm.
me. And when I come out, if my mind set that, yeah, this business has to start, it's gonna start. Believe you me,
Wow.
I'm a all in kind of person, all in. I don't
So,
gamble, but I
so
gamble when
would
it
you
comes to business.
so would you say because I recognize that um you started a business and I realized that you venture into so many different things. Would you say that that is because of the time and season? Because you
Yeah,
would realize that
because
okay, you start doing this and then you realize okay, this only work out for you realize that sales were really good for the first 6 months, and then you realize that after that things just start, not as good as the first 6 months. So you would say that it's just based on season and time.
yeah, it's based on season and time. And one thing I've learned from reading different books and watching interviews and stuff, a lot of us want to have a large business or a huge business. Or let's say, for instance, Doc, you're into electronics, right? So let's say you start in your home and you do electronics, and you realize, wow, I'm getting customers. People like the job that I do. And then you may rent a space in town, let's say, and you realize, wow, I'm getting a lot of customers, and you hire someone. Then you may hire another person, so you have three person, but the space is so
Mhm.
small. You work out, it's not feasible to have the three people in that space. So what you end up doing now is renting a bigger space or having two spaces. And a lot of times that's where we go wrong.
Mhm.
I found out that, in a lot of reading, doing a lot of reading, and people that started businesses and fail, and they were like, boy, I had the one business and I tried to make it bigger. Because every person hopes to expand their business, but sometimes you just have to stay where you are. Because that expansion might just be your downfall. Because everything is bigger. Your rent is bigger. Your usage with the lights, water is bigger.
Mhm.
You have more staff. You have more risk of things happening. Like if you have two, three
Yep. Yep.
vehicles, somebody could mash up one. It's a lot. It's a lot. So for me, like I said, I'm very calculated. Now everybody is not like that. Everybody's
Mhm.
not a numbers person. I love maths from a long time. I'm a numbers guy. I did business, I did economics. So numbers, yeah, crunching numbers is my thing. but everybody is not that gifted and talented. So what I will say is, for instance, okay, let's break it down. You may like mango, right? Let's say you like mango, and you may eat 3 mango, and you feel like, but it's good, but because you like mango so much, you walk out by. I'm gonna eat the next one, then you eat the next one, then you eat the next one. Then what happen? You get constipated. You may not be able to get it out in the bathroom, stuff like that. So my thing is, go with your gut. So if you're doing something and you feel like, I'm comfortable here, I'm comfortable, I can make the bills, I can make a little something for myself and stuff like that. Sometimes that's where you need to be. That's your comfort zone. So it's not all the time you need to go out of your comfort zone. So if in your mind it's right, sometimes you just have to leave it there. Pushing it further may just be your downfall. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. So
But
you
for me,
you
yeah, go
work
ahead.
it basically until the wheels fall off. You work it until the wheels fall off, and then if anything,
Basically, yeah.
then you increase basically.
Yeah, basically. Because like I said, business always teach you, you try to maximize and profit. And when you're doing a business and you start to see your profit, and you might work out, okay, I can squeeze it a little more and squeeze it a little more. But just like an orange and a lime, when you squeeze, what happens? It dries up, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So sometimes it's just best you squeeze a little today, squeeze a little tomorrow, so you get that lime to stretch out. You get what I'm saying?
Right, right, right.
Yeah,
Josephine
definitely.
Bergen says good night. All good night, Josephine.
Good night, good
Um,
night, good
Good
evening.
night, Josephine.
yeah, it was nice
Yeah.
having you on. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes. And
Yeah,
also
one of the
share. Don't
things,
forget to share as well.
as Keely was saying, that I find a lot of the times um we start business, and the minute we start seeing things looking good, we think that it's time to expand. And nobody goes into a business to go up there and then having to come back down.
Come back down. Yeah.
And so
Yeah, nice.
I would encourage somebody, persons out there, that you would understand that it's always good to start small. You use in your home to sell whatever, to do whatever it is that you have to do. Continue to do it, because yes, as the profit comes in, yes, you're gonna find other ways, because the more profit you get, you can be able to buy even more stuff. Not even start looking at a place yet, because the minute
Yeah.
you start looking
Yeah.
at a place, you ain't really making so much profit yet. But you don't start looking for a place, don't start, and then now we understand that the kind of economy that we're living in, all kind of things start happening. And then when you look every year, the landlord come telling you that they went going up, and realizing that you a lot of your profits get eaten up because of these things. And so it's best that you start small.
Hmm.
You got one
Yeah,
small little
definitely.
room that you have probably maybe at home that you see in your business. Work with it. Work with it until you're able to get out of that. And then you could start seeing yourself. And because I have known of persons who come out from their home, gone to went places, and they don't survive. They don't survive.
Yes.
Right. And
Hmm.
so it's
Yes.
best that you always start small, and then you work your way up. You probably this month you could only maybe afford to buy maybe five of something. Who knows? And then probably next month, with the money that you make, you could turn on and you could probably buy 10. And you
Yeah.
realize that you could end up and buying other things that people interested in, because that's one of the things I find that we have a problem with, that we buy stuff that people don't need, and then we end up with these dead stocks.
Hmm.
Yes,
And so
definitely.
it's good to get to know what the people want. Look at what people, and I mean,
So
I think we all
market
know,
research is important.
right? And I think by now we all would realize that now technology had make it so easy for us, because
Yes.
Akil, not to cut you out, but if me realize that I'm going to buy something from Akil, and I think that Akil price is too high. I mean, I am going to go and buy it myself. You understand? So at the same
If
time,
you're
you
willing to take the risk that Akil would take, because a lot of people
yes,
know
yes,
on the flip side of that, they just look at price. Now the truth is, let's break
Yeah,
this
yeah.
down a little bit. Let's be realistic now. We end up talking business. We didn't plan this, but we end up talking business. Um so on the same situation with Akil, um if Akil have a business, this is what he is specialized in.
mm,
Selling stuff, bringing in stuff, selling stuff. Now you need the product that Akil has. But in your mind, you're thinking that the price that Akil is charging is too high.
mhm,
And you feel like you could do it yourself and get it cheaper. Now, the truth about it is, Akil is running a business. So, whatever Akil purchase at, he cannot sell you at. He must have a profit margin.
imagine,
Otherwise, it
right?
don't make sense to do it
Right.
because it's a business.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right,
understand?
right.
And then some
Yeah, right.
people now jump in it thinking that they could do it cheaper, but not having the
Right.
experience that Akil has.
Mm,
They end up
Mm-hmm.
fall in trouble or end up fall even getting it at a greater price, a higher price than Akil.
Right,
So we
right.
got to
That's
be
true. Mm-hmm.
careful. You understand? If because St. Kitts is so small and the market, in my opinion, is small, I think that sometimes we need to just respect what other people is doing and pay
Yeah.
them for what they're doing. And especially Christian-minded people, we always feel like
yeah,
we must get things free.
yeah.
That's the mentality that
Facts.
we have. We gonna kill the
Yeah,
whole system.
Brother, would you take a $5
yeah,
in Jesus' name?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we need to change our mindset as well. You understand? And we need to, the next thing is we need to stop, watch other people and follow them because the market is small and because you see, let's say, when we jump in on Akil tonight, he's the guest, so we chatting. Akil start a
yeah.
car wash and you see a couple of vehicles by him and you feel like, well, my Akil doing good. You ain't even know if he washing one or two of them for free. But you just see vehicles passing through the car
True
wash
that.
and you walk out by Akil and make a lot of money. So I'm gonna start a
yeah.
car wash
Mm-hmm.
too. So what you just do? If Akil had a chance of surviving in the market by himself, now you come into the same market, right? You bust
Saturated,
the
yep.
you bust
Saturate
the
the market.
profits now. It down 50% in my opinion, because it's now for you all. So you have to share
Instead of one,
the market now instead
yeah.
of one person. So the slim margin that he
Yeah,
had
fact.
to make a profit from that business, now you jump in and you kill the whole thing because you know, and then next thing your friends see you doing it and he walk out, well, bye, I could do that too. And they just jump in it. So my thing is sometimes you have to just respect what people do. Business is risk. That's just about it. Business is risk. Because you never know what's gonna
Yeah,
happen. So Akil take a risk to do a business and he start a car wash. Respect the man taking the risk and pay the man for his job. If you want your car wash, you pay the man.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I feel that if we
yeah.
adapt
So,
that, everybody would be a little better off. That's just my opinion on that.
Yeah.
and bro, I totally agree with you. I mean, a lot of us we watch other people and we don't know the risk involved and we don't know the experience. Because, for instance, for me with car wash, I mean, um, my mom had plenty vehicles, so basically, I was trained
Right.
growing up with all those vehicles mommy had. I was basically trained, so I have the experience. So doing the car wash
Mhm.
wasn't really, something out of the way. I already basically acquired the skills without even realizing it wasn't
Right.
intentional to learn the skills, but it just happened.
Yeah, it just happened, right?
So someone else now. So what I'm saying is, I may have been having, let's say, 15, 16 years experience just washing vehicles, and you know, never had an experience in your life, or maybe you do a little one, two thing here twice a year, just, maybe helping out one neighbor them,
Right.
and then you feel like you're ready for business when really and truly I was prepared without even knowing that I was being
Knowing that it
prepared.
was
You
being
know what I mean?
prepared. Right.
So that's it. But definitely, business is a risk, and everybody risk level is different. Because my brother can tell you, risk I take, he will never do. He can
Not
tell you that.
not at all.
You know what
That's
I'm saying?
that's
he always said growing up, but you ain't normal. He always said that you ain't normal.
yeah,
But
that's a
like I said,
gamble.
I'm a
Can't
numbers guy. I'm a numbers guy. So I mean, the man will tell you in school. For me, I never used to gamble. The man got a gambling thing, and so I ain't gambling because I'm very calculated. In my mind, the house always wins.
hold
So
on,
why
wait,
gamble when you
hold
already
on.
losing?
When you said that you used to gamble in school, boy, you want to put me in trouble or what?
No, no. I say I never used to gamble. I said I
Yeah.
never used to gamble in school while the other students gamble in school.
Okay.
Yeah, because what I'm saying is someone may say, okay, he like take a lot of risk, maybe he used to gamble and stuff like that. I'm
Right.
not a gambler. Never
Okay.
was a gambler.
You're just a
Because
calculated
in
guy.
my mind, yes, I'm just a calculated guy. Because in my mind, as the saying goes, once you gamble, the house always wins. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, you lose even before you enter. So why would I go there? The
Yeah.
aim is to win, right? The aim is to win.
Correct. Correct.
So why go when you know you're already the loser?
Mm.
You
You're
get what I'm saying?
out the box. You done the loser already. Just out the box.
They back on the loser. Because my thing is that, for instance, you have a vehicle. If somebody told you that you're gonna hit a cattle class weight gate, would you go? You wouldn't go. You'll stay in your house, right?
Of course.
Of course, I would stay in my
Uh,
house. Of
Exactly. So
course.
it's the same thing. If you know you're going to lose, why would you leave your house to go gamble and you know you're going to lose? You get what I'm saying?
mm-hmm. I
It's just
got
that
you.
way. Yeah, but so yeah, we kind of strayed from the from the whole motivational corner. So
Yeah.
let me get
What
that
we
out
gonna
there
do?
before.
What we gonna do? We gonna take a small well, I don't want to call it a break, but just a quick song or something in, and then we can come back to
Yeah.
the motivational corner part of it. All right. So
Okay, do that. Yeah.
let's take a little bit of a
All right, guys, stick and stay with us.
Randall positive, and then we'll come back on the other end. All right.
Let's go! Higher, 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 higher. Higher, higher, higher. Hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah. Higher, 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 higher. Hey, higher, 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 higher. Ooh, one more. Say, hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Let's go. Oh, generation.
Still gonna pray.
Can't see the victory yet. What on
That's
me?
why I'm gonna pray.
I send the money in your pocket, but
Still gonna pray.
no food on your table, but
Still gonna pray.
can't see the victory yet, but
Still gonna pray.
because he's always on time. Just say, seminar change. Gonna praise God all when them things in the range. I will never refrain from praising your name until the day me die. Somebody say me not change. Not change. I'm gonna praise God when them things say me mad. Never refrain. I will never refrain. God, who over your head? 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 And then you start go so.
Cover me under your blood. Cover me.
For the weapons of my warfare, they're not carnal,
Go.
Cover me, and I am blood. Cover me.
Somebody just say,
Cover me, and I am blood.
prophesy from your belly. Prophesy.
All over me,
Hey, Lord.
keep me alive.
Hey, Lord, Lord, Lord.
Keep me alive.
Hey, Lord, Lord, Lord.
Keep me alive.
All over me.
All over me, and He's keeping me alive. Jesus is keeping me alive.
Boy. Now God is able to keep you from every attack. Now when the devil start, from dangers. And I say he's my prophesy.
Give me the wisdom to know when to fight.
All over me. All over. All over me.
And He's keeping me alive. Keeping me alive. Keeping me alive.
All over me. Oh, Lord.
Me alive.
Oh, Lord.
Jesus is keeping me alive.
Whoa. God, you turn a mess into a message. How the message, alright. Committed to the journey, so me now go. I know I'm looking through the spirit and not physical eyes. Ooh, to God me testify, hold on. Now me and the work of God and the boss. Who like he endorse. Take me from the mud and put me in the A class. Say yo, me and the work of God and the boss. Who like he endorse. Take me from the mud and put me. Say God, you rearrange my life, I should be there. One last time, prophesy. Somebody just say. Somebody just say. All over me. Put it over your neighbor. Put it over your neighbor now. And go so cover under your blood.
All right, so that was the man himself, Mr. Randall Positive, telling you, encouraging you to, asking the Lord to cover him, cover us under the blood. All right, so we are back um, with Evening Elevation for those who might have just tuned in. Um, we have our co-host, Mr. Wilden Gillard, and our guest for tonight, she's Akil Christopher, who is here to talk about
Yes, I.
Good
his
night, everybody.
motivational corner. All right. So, Akil, the mic is yours. We were talking about now what inspired you to do motivational corner. We kind of went off on a little business tangent, but that's fine.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what I like
well,
about
you
the
know
show.
me.
No,
You
but
know
that's
me.
what I like
Once,
about the
once
show.
I'm
That's
in
what I
there,
like.
business got to come in.
Yeah, that's what
Business
I
got
like
to come
about
in.
the show.
Anything about me is business.
So tell me now, motivational corner. Um,
All right,
you,
yeah. So, so basically, let me just backtrack a bit. So, for those that just join us, good evening once again. So, my name is Akil Christopher. I'm the creator of what you call the Motivation Corner. So, basically, I use that to inspire others. How it came about, I basically saw pictures, videos, people speaking and doing different motivational stuff. And I basically used that. I posted that on my social media platforms, Facebook, WhatsApp, and stuff like that. So how the motivation corner came about, I did that basically to motivate myself, not knowing that others were being motivated as well. So it came
mhm.
a point in time where it was kind of taxing to just keep doing that all the time. So I basically like went into hibernation mode, as you want to say. So if I post something this week, like they got to motivate me until next week, like that kind of way. That's how I basically did it.
Okay.
Till I eventually just stopped posting, and I found other ways to motivate myself. Then people came about, and boy, I saw you used to post this and that, and you know, you really used to help me and inspire me, and you know, I always used to look forward, but no one said anything. So it just
Mm-hmm.
goes to show that you never know who is watching, who is listening, you
Yes.
know, who is
You
admiring
just
what you're doing, you know, stuff
you
like
just
that.
have to do what you do, and
Yeah,
um you got to
do what
try
you do and
to
be true.
dig. Yeah, do what you do, be true,
Yeah,
and
and be
try to
true. Yeah,
motivate yourself as well, because I understand what you're saying in terms of that part of it. What I find with us as a people is that we don't like to encourage people when they're doing what they're doing, right? But when
yeah,
you stop, then no, that's
yeah,
when people now start coming to you and say, "Bah, you used to do this and I used to benefit from this and that." So you never know who you're reaching. And that's one of the things why I need to get this podcast going, because we never know who we're gonna be encouraging. And with life as it is right now, with how the economy going and all of that, trust me. I feel personally that the motivational corner is timely, and you just need to stick with it. Me personally,
yeah. So
because of how I work,
okay,
sometimes I don't get to read them every day, but I check in on it here and there, and what I see something with great potential. So I also want to encourage you to just continue doing what you do, and try to dig deep within yourself to motivate yourself to do it and stick with it. Because don't look for people to come to you and say, "Boy, you do this and you bless me and this and that, or you encourage me here. I was going to do this and me ain't better do it because you encourage me here and there." I just find that we as a people, we kind of lack that. We don't appreciate people when they're doing what they're doing. That's just the truth.
yeah, and that is true because you know, like I said, you know, nobody ever said anything until when I stopped.
Right.
So the saying about you never miss the water till the well
Till
runs
the
dry.
well run dry.
I'm a
Correct.
living testimony to that. Yeah.
Correct.
So
Correct.
basically now you know I was posting other people's stuff. That's basically what I was doing. You know I would see it on somebody Facebook post or somebody's status or whatever, and I just basically screenshot it. And I did it on a schedule. So my thing is that if I saved it today, then maybe 3 weeks down the line I'll post it. You know
Right.
I don't do it right away. That's what I did first.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I stopped, and everyone told me, you know, that boy, you know, this thing really spoke to me, it helped me out. That's how I came up with the motivation corner. So if anybody that knows me know that I like wrestling. So the motivation corner came about. I like wrestling. So that's where the whole corner came in. So my
Mm-hmm.
thing is I wanted to do something that motivates. And then because I like wrestling, that's where the whole corner came about. So I was like, you know, the motivation corner. I had a few names I was juggling. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
inspiration corner, you know, those kind of stuff. The innovation corner. And then, you know, I said by the motivation corner. I think I said the motivational corner first, and then I say, you know what, no, I'm gonna cut it down to the motivation corner.
So it was always corner.
So the
Anything corner.
it was always
And
corner because of wrestling, yeah. I like wrestling, so it was always the corner. So basically, you know, so I had something, I had an idea. So I was like, okay, how do I make this motivation corner? How do I, you know, go about this? How do I make it different?
Mm-hmm.
So then I said, okay, since I used to take people stuff and post them, what I can do now is take people stuff and then do an interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
So I will take, you know, the same lyrics of a song, you know, I might watch a movie and they say something, you know, yeah, it's different stuff.
Yeah, because
And
that's
then I
something that
take,
I was just about to ask you. I was just about to ask you,
yeah,
how do you get your inspiration for what you're gonna put up the next day? Do you know in
yeah.
advance what you're gonna put up the next day, or sometimes it just come to you on the spot, something happen, and then you just how do you get your inspiration for that daily?
Okay, well, first when I started, it will just come about. So, and maybe I'm watching a video on YouTube and something
Mm-hmm.
they say, and I say, okay, this, yeah, I'm gonna post this and I just expand on it. That's what I did first. But then as you realize, okay, people actually start to reach out now and, you know, they send hearts or they say, "Bah, yeah, this, yeah, definitely, I agree," and I realize, okay, well, I have a following now, so I
Mm-hmm.
start to do things in advance. So I will try to do something. I'll use the same motivation with a movie, song lyrics, anything. I could be driving on the bus and I hear somebody say something, and then I say, okay, they're gonna use this for motivation corner tomorrow. So it kind of give
Mm-hmm.
me a little more time. But back then
Mm-hmm.
it was just spontaneous.
Okay.
It was just spontaneous. Something around me, something said. Yeah, something I saw.
Right.
Yeah, you know, a conversation somebody had, and maybe they use a old saying. You know, how we dog eat waka. Like yeah, I will take that and I will just do motivation corner and that. You
So,
know what I
so let
mean?
me so let me ask you this question now. Has there ever been a time where they break and you don't have anything to post?
Yeah, that happened. I was in that situation. I think I got the idea maybe like 11 o'clock in the morning, and then I said, "Bye, I got to try to do this thing in advance."
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I really I had what you call writer's block.
Mm.
Nothing, nothing
Nothing
was
was
just
coming.
there.
Nothing was coming.
Yeah, nothing was coming. Nothing was coming. And then I
Okay.
said, "But you know what? I'm gonna just go on YouTube and something random going to show up." And I just kept scrolling down. You know what I mean? I just kept scrolling down, and then I saw a heading, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use this."
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
definitely, but
so do you remember what you did for motivational kind of this morning? I know you're using your phone now, so you can't go back to it right now. But do you remember what you
okay.
posted for motivational kind of this morning?
Well, motivation corner this morning came from the word. I was in church this morning, and the pastor said there are three things that you can't get back, and he was like, time. He said time, your words, and I think he said first impression, something like that. He said. So he
Mhm.
said three things.
So I
He
can
said
pull up your
time.
motivational corner for today. So your motivational
Yeah.
corner says for today, there are five things in
Hmm.
life you cannot get back. First impression,
Yeah.
trust,
Hmm.
opportunity, time, and words spoken.
Okay. Yeah. So he said opportunity,
Yep.
time, and words spoken. That's what he said.
Right.
Then I expounded on others because I was saying, well, there are other things I feel that you know you
You
can't
can't
get
take
back.
back.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
True.
that's where it came a first impression. Like for me, I was always strong on a first impression
Mm-hmm.
because that's a once in a lifetime. You can't get back that.
Yeah, you can't get back a first impression. That gone.
Yeah.
Once the
Yeah. So that's
person done
something
got that,
I
that
first
first
thing.
impression of you, that's it.
Yes, definitely. So just I took that and I just expounded on it. And that's basically what I do now with the motivation corner. It could just be something said, something heard, and I just expound on it. It's a little more. Because what I realize, like you said earlier, in our culture, it's in our culture. We don't big up the good. We always big up the bad. Somebody do something bad, we always run with it. We post it all over the place. It's a whole charade.
Yep. Yep.
But when you do good,
That don't get seen by.
they don't encourage that. Don't get
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah.
And as you see, these are the signs of the times, and I realize that people really need motivation. Because even me, I don't want motivation to get out my bed. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Could
Because
imagine.
you're self-employed. Because you're self-employed, you don't know what can happen today. I mean, like COVID just hit, and you just have
Uh,
to be there. You know what
well,
I mean? So
I think the bills should motivate you to get about the bill. the
yeah,
bills,
definitely,
the
God.
I,
bills, the
I,
bills
I,
come
I,
in so
I I don't
fast.
even want to say the bill should motivate you because a lot of the times that I don't know if you're listening, um how many of us have had um challenges at work where um sometimes the environment for you is just not conducive,
Right.
you know, and whereas you are not even motivated.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's like you come to work, you do the same thing every day over and over, over and over. Where is the motivation? And I find myself lately, well, I started doing it a little while back, but I would lapse now and again. But every morning when I get up, I have to play something that would motivate me. Whether it's a speech from Steve Harvey or whether it's something from one of our pastors, and even more so lately, I've find myself listening to a lot of sermons Pastor from Pastor Todd. You know, and they have been motivating me a lot, because when you can relate, and this is one of the things that I really want to encourage Akil, that when people can relate, a lot of the times that, you know, we all know that we post stuff on our status, and when we post stuff on our status, people feel like that you're going through something,
Right.
right? And it's not always because that you are going through something. Sometimes you see something and it just pops out at you, and you don't know what you may be doing for somebody at that time.
Yeah,
And you know, a lot of the times that I would post stuff, right? And sometimes you don't even know. And it's like people would meet you. Verse when I like what you post this morning, you know. I like what you post this morning. Right? And it's like, why sometimes you're just posting and you don't even know whether or not if somebody's being encouraged, and sometimes you know it's very important, and be careful of what you post sometimes, because you don't want to give nobody the wrong thing, because at the same time, you know, a lot of the times that you would be encouraging people, but yet, but what make it sound like you're trying to word on somebody? Because let's be real, eh? Let's be real. That is what a lot of the times that statuses has become. That you
yes,
Yeah.
of
can
course, of
treat
course.
somebody,
That's the norm. That's the culture. Yeah, that's the
you
culture now.
send
Yeah.
it up on, put it up on your status. Because what? You know that they're gonna read it. You know
I
that they're going to
even if
read
they
it.
ain't read it, you know you're gonna get back to them.
You
Cause
know you're
somebody
gonna get back to them. You
somebody got
understand? And so we have
But
we have come to understand that technology can be good and it can be
can be
bad.
bad.
You
Yes, you just
understand?
gotta use it.
But we have to find the good out of it. It's not all of it is bad.
Mhm.
And you know why we might
yeah,
be saying that, oh, we don't want to do this and we don't want to do that, but there's always a good with something. So yes, although technology might have its bad, and yes, we know how technology can be, but there is always a good behind every bad. So, you
Mhm.
know, Akil, a lot of the times that persons may not come and tell us, why I was really encouraged by what you say.
Mhm.
But always keep in mind that you don't know what it is doing for somebody.
Somebody else. Yep.
You don't know. So even they might not
yeah.
reach out to you, because guess what? You might post it up. You might not even have that individual on your status, and that person probably saw it and decide to put it up even on their status as well.
Mhm.
And putting it up on their status, other persons can see. So, you know, a lot of the time we take these things very lightly, but we don't know what it's doing for others. And so, Akil, I really want to encourage you, continue. Continue. You
Yep.
don't know what you're doing.
Well, buds, life ain't no better roses, cause
That's right.
to be honest with you, when I started the motivation corner first, I started getting calls and messages. Boy, you good? You good?
You see?
I
You
mean,
see what I mean? Right. So
yeah, because like you said, it's the culture. It's the culture. So
it's the
people
culture. Right.
even reach out to my lady and okay, now with he good? You do him something now? Them kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But um, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. A lot of people don't understand the power of a smile. Now, my bishop, he said something like, um, I don't want to misquote him. He does say that a smile improves your looks, right? You look so much better when you smile. He says, you look so much better when you smile. A smile improves your look.
Yeah, I think they also say you use more muscles to frown than to smile. So you're actually using more muscles in your face to frown than to smile. So it's easier to smile.
And the smile, yeah.
Correct.
So what happened is now, a lot of people don't understand how powerful that is. So You may be going through a situation and you're down, and you just want to frown all day long. But I want to tell the people that, trust me, a smile is very powerful. A laugh is very powerful. Now I'm gonna tell you guys this for me, because like you said, life is not easy, and there are lots of ups and downs in life, and there's things out there that just leaving your house, it just kill your vibes. It just demotivates you. Just going through life on a normal day to day. And for me, I realize laughter helps a lot. That's one of my medicine right now, laughter. I find myself looking at you guys remember growing up you used to watch a show called Family Matters with Steve Urkel?
Yes.
Family matters.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of times because there's technology and we have to use technology. So for me, when I find myself being down, I always pull up a clip with Steve Urkel and I get a laugh and it just calms me down.
Mhm.
Even sometimes I come home and I can't get to sleep. I can't go sleep because something on my mind. Like for instance, when I get a business idea, that'll be on my mind for a couple of days. Well, I don't got to write it down to kind of get it off my mind because the mind wouldn't let it go. You know what I mean? So, and I will simply pull up a little Steve Urkel, get a laugh, and with that, my mind just relax and I go straight to sleep. So, I want to tell the people that you just got to find what works for you. There's a lot of things that works. Some people eat ice cream and, it works for them. You know, there's just different things. Some people go for a walk. Some people go to the gym. Some people just find it screaming. Screaming is better for them. You know what I mean? Just find what works for you.
Yeah.
Everybody is unique in their own way. You have to
Hmm.
understand everybody is unique in their own
Everybody's
way.
unique in their own way. Yep.
Everybody process things differently. I can
Correct.
write some words on the wall, and my interpretation is different to yours, but Boswell, you know, my interpretation is different to yours, Jenny Biggers. So we have to understand everybody is unique. You have to understand that. Everybody have a gift, you just have to tap into it. Some people can cook,
Yeah.
some people can sing, you know, and I want to leave the people with this. To strengthen my point, one day I went to the bank and I saw a poster because people have put the little poster cards and stuff in the banks now.
Mhm.
And I saw a poster card that I was blown away. And when I read the card, it was advertising an ironing business. Ironing, as in heater, you use to iron your clothes.
Right.
Mhm.
And instantly, the light bulb came on over my head. In cartoons, when you see the light bulb, I said, wow, look at how this person is going to make millions of dollars because I can guarantee you one of 20 people likes to iron. You understand?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
want to leave the people with that. Just think about that. One of 20 likes to iron clothes. One
Yeah.
of 20. So if there's 50,000 people in St. Kitts, just work out how much people hate ironing and how much money that person is going to make. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Money. Yes, guys. Yo, I want to thank you guys so much.
Yeah, man, no
For
problem,
for
boss.
for tonight. Um, trust me. Time. I don't know where time does go when we start. Evening elevation, and we are already 11 minutes over our time. So we're gonna wrap up. Any closing words? Um, well, Akil just gave me closing words about the ironing. I don't
Yes,
know if you have
definitely,
anything else to
definitely.
say. Doc, you have anything else you want to leave the people with? Because we're gonna leave
I
them
would
until
just
next week.
say, to those who may be listening, doesn't matter what ideas you may have. It could be something small, you know, pick yourself up, do what it is that you have to do. Because guess what? You can't start a business and still want to stay in bed all day. You got to get up, put pen
Yep,
to paper,
we're gonna put in the
do
work.
what it is that you need to get done. Research about whatever it is that you whatever idea you might have, you know, and start doing something. Start doing something. You'll never know what will come out of it until you do it. All right?
Yep. So just start,
Yeah,
basically.
man.
That's what you're saying. Just start. Just
Just
start.
Just
start.
start.
So
Just like
guys,
I said, just start.
just that. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys spending the hour and 15 minutes with me,
Yeah. I
encouraging
think you're going
others.
to call me back for a part two next week. I think this deserves a part two.
Well, we can do that. We can do that. The platform is open to anybody. Um, you know, I want to thank those who tuned in. Some of you are very quiet, but I could see the numbers, so you can't hide. I can see. But we want to encourage you to interact. Also, if there are topics that you would like us to discuss, send your topics in. You could just drop it in the comment. You could
Yep.
DM me. If you have my contact number, you could WhatsApp me, whatever it is. We're gonna find the right people to discuss these topics because we want to be real. We want to be real. This is something new that we want to do, and we want to be real because, in my humble opinion, the way how people looking at Christianity right now ain't encouraging. You understand? People don't want to come, so we're gonna do things different, and whoever little bit we could reach, we would do that. And we're gonna try our best to come to you every week. Like I said, Sunday is the day. If for whatever reason we can't do it Sunday, we're gonna try to make it up on the Wednesday for the Sunday. But we're gonna try our best to bring this podcast to you every Sunday. All right. So guys, thank you very much. Doc, thank you. I appreciate it. Akil, thank you for coming on and sharing your piece. This has been
Yeah,
another
man. Big up, bro.
episode of Evening Elevation. This is season 1, episode 3, coming to an end. So look out for episode number 4 next week. Love you guys. Thank you. And just be true to yourself as we
Good
take
night,
our
everybody.
Yeah, man.
theme
Nice.
song. Good night.
Yes, good evening to
Um,
everybody.
yes, our evening elevation song that was done for us. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening. Javel Whitaker, always coming in the last hour.
Last shower in.
Quarter
Bands,
past,
man.
bands
Wrong with your
man.
bands, man.
Quarter past 9. Javel saying, yo, bro, big up, big up. Come early.
Big up, bro. One love,
We
bro.
start at 8 p.m. So tune in a little earlier, okay, bandsman? Blessings.
Bands, man, we start at 8.
Alright, blessings, guys. Thank you so much again. All
All
right,
right, bro. Take
nice.
care.
We'll chat in the back. Oh boy, what you again? What time next week? 8 p.m. sharp. Challenger, 8 p.m. Okay? Wait, Challenger Denise? I guess that's a short form to say what, Denise or something?
Probably,
So
yeah. Probably.
8 p.m. sharp. Every Sunday night, we chopping it up right here in Evening Elevation. So send your topics if you have a topic you want us to talk about. That, remember our first episode, the guy sent in his topic about forgiveness. We have to deal with that.
Forgiveness.
So we have to deal with that. We'll get somebody to talk about that.
Yes.
So yes, we're doing this thing together and we're making this thing happen. All right. Thank you guys very much. Love you. But
Yes, good evening,
Dwayne.
gentlemen.
Dwayne. Okay, big up Dwayne. Big up yourself. Blessing.
Yeah,
Nice.
shout out to Dwayne. Shout out to Dwayne, man. What's up?
Yeah, blessing. So thank you guys. Love you guys. We chat in the back.
Yeah.
Sunset is melting dreams in the sky. Catch that fire, let your spirit fly high. Evening whispers, listen and believe. Chase those visions while the stars weave. Evening elevation, rise and celebrate. Dreams come alive when you open the gate. Feel the rhythm pushing through your soul. Chase the horizon and you find your goal. Moonlight's a canvas, paint your skies bright. Stars are the guides in the cool, calm night. Doubt may linger, sky's bright, stars are the guides in the cool calm night. Doubt may linger but hope's a flame, let the evening elevate your game. Evening elevation, rise and celebrate, dreams come alive when you open the gate. Feel the rhythm pushing through your soul, chase the horizon and you'll find your goal. Reggae beats in your chest, echoes of hope, lift your sights higher like a pirate with scope. Tune into greatness, feel the vibrations, evening's a ladder of aspirations. Evening elevation, rise and celebrate.